Avarie Howard here in Lincoln following Thursday media availability and Nebraska's 9th spring practice. We heard from Dana Holgorsen, EJ Barthel, Nyzaih Hunter, and Janiran Bonner. Starting with the offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen, he talked about the continued growth he's seen in the wide receiver room and also the progress he's been pleased with at the center position. He also was asked with the transfer portal next week, and he said, if I was on this team, I'd have nothing to complain about.
Portal window opening next week.
Is it? Gee. You trying to put me in a bad mood or what? I was happy just out there coaching ball and not having to worry about all that stuff, you know? I mean, you got bad news? What do you got?
Just based on what you've seen this spring, how active a stretch or how important a stretch do you expect that to be?
I don't have a clue what that's going to look like. I mean, we have so many kids getting so many reps. Nobody's complaining. You know, everybody's giving effort. Everybody's got opportunities to play. Everybody's got opportunities to show us what they got. I mean, if I was anybody on this football team, there would not be anything that I would be upset about because you're repping. You know, the way that they're treated here is unreal compared to what I've been used to. You know, I think you could ask. I mean, ask Nyzaih when he comes up here, like how we're treated here compared to how we're treated, like how others are able to do things for these young men. So. You know, Nebraska's a great place with you know, unreal resources, and these kids, if they choose to, they can benefit from this every day.
All of these receivers are newcomers to the way you want to coach and the way the Keel wants to coach. How have you seen them maybe rise up to the standards that the two of you have for that position?
Yeah, that's a work in progress too. You know, just from this is how we're going to do it type thing. That's not going to happen overnight either. You know, I mean, fortunately, you have, you know, you got some vets in there like I consider Luke a skill guy. You know, Lindenmeyer. I mean, he's a veteran guy that is coming into his own. Dane Keys played a lot. He gets more comfortable with Dylan every day. Is starting to show up. You know. Bonner is a tough guy that's a skill guy that plays a whole lot of things and just a tough guy that plays fast. You know, and then Jacory's a vet as well. You know, Nyzaih Hunter made a couple of plays today that I've been waiting on him. So it's starting to make sense to those guys that have logged reps, you know, and then, you know, the young guys just got to keep plugging away. You know, a lot of times those guys their heads spinning. We've got pretty much everything in. And I call it like, you know, if we get into situational stuff, third downs, everything's on the table. It's not just the plays of the day. You know, you get down into the red zone, everything's on the table. It's not just the plays of the day. So you can see their heads, the younger guys, Cortez and Isaiah, you know, those guys are, their heads are spinning when you put it all together, which is understandable. The good news is it's spring practice, you know, going on number 10. So we got 5 more opportunities to coach them and then come back in June and work more football, you know, before the real deal happens.
Donovan was talking last week about the center position and what it takes to play there. How do you feel how that's been tracking this spring so far?
With Justin, I've been very happy with it. You know, the snaps, you know, the snaps need to improve a little bit, you know, which is, you know, not surprising because you've been playing guard, right? But very happy with his mentality. You know, he's taken over a leadership role. When I was here for the 2 months last year, I don't think he said one word. Like, I never heard him talk in the huddle. I never heard him. I mean, he played well. He was physical. But now he's kind of coming out of that. You know, he's always been kind of an undersized overachiever, you know, and I'm like, you got to get that mindset out of your head. I mean, you are a dude. He can be as good a center that exists in college football. I firmly believe that, you know, so really happy with his progress. And, you know, you can see quite a bit of a drop off when the other guys get in. They're all young and just need a ton of reps. That's what I said about the O-line a little bit ago. Those 3 are a prime example of that.
Moving on to the running backs coach, EJ Barthel. He talked about a guy we've heard a lot this spring, Quentin Ives. He talked about his growth, and he also talked about the growth we've seen from Emmett Johnson. He said not only could he be the guy just here at Nebraska, but also in this conference.
Emmett's made strides almost every opportunity, every offseason. You know what I mean? So, like, I remember when I first got here, his first spring with me, you know, he had an issue of looking at the football, getting handoff. You know what I mean? And, like, he had to learn protection. Like, man, where do my eyes go? So, like, then the second year, he understood the position. And then it was like, okay, make explosive plays, right? And now going into this year, his third year with us, like the development process has transitioned onto the field. So he went from a guy that was developing in the room to now developing on the field to now progressing to being now a guy. He's solidified, and he's really at the top of his game right now. I mean, he's literally what we stand for as a program. If you look at what we talk about in recruiting and we talk about trying to build the program, he's a guy that represents that. You know, he's been through the process. He's been confident in the process. He's never. I know he wavered. I know there was some pressure on him with the portal and stuff like that. But he's a guy that believes in what we're doing. He believes in the coaching, and the coaching with him transitions to the field. And the best thing about this is that you've watched him grow from a guy that is ready to play to a guy that can possibly be one of the better players, if not one of the best backs in the conference. I mean, he has that kind of ability, and so he has a high standard, and he has high goals for himself. He's a competitive kid, but I believe he stayed the course, and he's earned the work. I mean, he's earned his position where he's at right now with reps and going through the hard work of becoming a good player.
You've seen in particular from Quentin and how he's improved even from the end of last year to now.
I think it's the big thing to me is development. I'm kind of like in deja vu mode, from Emmett 2 years ago to now it's Quentin, and working on Mackay, right? So it's like going through the process of what it takes to be a high-level running back. I think Quentin, there's no doubt when we recruited Quentin that he was an elite athlete, but learning the position is something that he's really shown that progress since last year to this year. He's really shown his comfort out there too. He's getting more comfortable and more confident, and so this is the best I've ever seen him. So I'm really excited about where he stands right now.
Moving on to the players, we heard from Nyzaih Hunter, the Cal transfer. He shared all of his reasons for why he chose Nebraska and the continued theme we've heard about the Dylan Raiola impact and how involved he's been in the recruiting process.
Very first person to text me. Period. He's a very good guy.
Were you surprised by that? Like, what was your reaction?
Yeah, my reaction was very shocked. I was like, whoa, like Dylan Raiola, mini Patrick Mahomes, like, oh my gosh. I was very excited. But yeah, it was just, I felt the love. Like, that's what everybody needs around. So he's a dog. Like, he's that guy. Like, on and off the field. He'll be I'll invite him to my wedding. He'll be the first dude I'll invite to my wedding. Like, he'll be there and show up. He'll be the only one. If I invited him to my wedding, he'll be the only one probably to show up. Like, he's a great dude. That's how great Dylan is. Like, he's a great dude on and off the field, and I can trust him. He trusts me, trusts everybody in the room, in the receiver room. And yeah, I'll just say he got a dog mindset and he wants to win. And that's what I can define as Dylan as.
You getting married?
I wish. Very soon. I wish.
And lastly, we heard from Janiran Bonner, a vet in that wide receiver room. He shared some advice for the young guys trying to find their way in this program.
I just say come in here and work hard every day. And everything you do it at, full speed with just come in and work. And, don't no slacking. It's how everybody got the same standard, no matter how old you are or know how young you are. So you come in here and work every day, and that's just how you're going to get better as a young guy or even older guy.